Now we are going to discuss difference between the involute gears, involute teeth profiles and cycloidal teeth profiles. So here we have the one small mistake is here. So that is the so this is the difference between the involute gear profiles and involute gear profiles. So now all of you observe that. So coming to the first point, more wear and tear. Here, more wear and tear. More. So more wear and tear. More wear and tear as concave flank makes contact with the convex flank. So do you know about of the terminology of concave and convex? Concave and convex. So do you know that? So concave and convex. So that is the, so when you take the circle, this type of the profile has been prepared. So that is the concave type, and this type of profile is been prepared. So that is the convex, concave and convex type. So those are there. So more wear and tear as concave flank makes contact with the convex flank. So that is the one of the point is there in involute teeth. And cycloidal teeth point of view, pressure angle keeps on changing. Pressure angle keeps on changing during the operation. So that is the, and the angle is maximum at the start and end of the engagement and zero at the pitch point. So they were talked about of the pressure angle or angle of obliquity or angle of obliquity. So that is while the operation is while the operation is happen, so then keeps on changing the pressure angle. Okay, but our maximum angle is at the starting point, at the starting of the engagement and end of the engagement places generally seen, and at the zero at the pitch point. So that okay that things is generally happen in our particular system. Now in involute teeth, so teeth are weaker, teeth are weaker, and in cycloidal teeth are stronger. So what are the tooths are prepared? Okay, what are the tooths are prepared of our gears? So that tooths are weaker in our involute profile. So compare with the cycloidal. So cycloidal tooths are always stronger. So that is there. And another one, it is easier to manufacture due to convex surface. It is easier to manufacture. So why? Because for preparing of the one tooth, so directly to take the one procedure, that procedure is only, that procedure is involute type, involute profile. So involute shape. So that is the that is nearly to have this type of the shape. Okay, this type of the shape is generally prepared. So this type of the shape is directly prepared there. So now uh, it is easier to manufacture due to convex surface. It is easier to manufacture due to convex surface in our involute teeth profiles. And cycloidal point of view, it is difficult to manufacture due to requirements of hypocycloid and epicycloids. Already I told that when I discussed about of the cycloidal teeth. Why? Because for preparing of one tooth, so So nearly to take the 4 operations. Those are the 2 epicycloidal operations and 2 hypocycloidal operations. So while we prepare the particular tooth, so that is some difficult compare with the our involute teeth. So that is okay. Say that is in that is discussed here. And another one, velocity. The velocity is not affected due to the variation in center distance. So in our involute profiles, so generally one thing will happen involute teeth, so involute gates. So that is the in involute gates generally happen the one thing that is the center distance is altering. So that means that may also vary. So alter the particular center, okay, altering of the our particular gears, okay. So while the system will happen, some alteration is there. So that is the when we are having the particular type of alteration, okay, altering, but the velocity is not affected. So that is indicating here. And the center distance should remain in the same, should remains the same. But our cycloidal gears, when the cycloidal gears are in running mode, so then there is no center distance is varying here. So why? Because there is no such type of disturbances are not occurred in our cycloidal gears. So that is also there. And interference takes place. So that is the interference will also occur in our involute gears, but in our cycloidal there is no interference. There is no interference. So and finally to say that here in our cycloidal, less wear and tear as concave flank makes contact with the convex flank. So this is the less wear and tear in our cycloidal gears. In our cycloidal gears, less wear and tear as concave flank makes contact with the convex flank. So those are the differences are there in our involute teeth and our cycloidal teeth. Is it clear? While we prepare the our gear teeth, so what are the problems are facing? So those problems are okay indicating here. So that is the those are the differences between the our involute teeth to the cycloidal teeth. Not only prepare the gears only these two teeth. Okay, we are also having number of teeth. That is the V type of shapes of the gears are also there. Okay, and other teeth profiles are also there, but mainly to take the mainly to concentrating on the these type of the gears, okay, these type of the teeth preparation. While we prepare the such type of preparations, then we may also have the some problems while we prepare the particular tools. So those are discussed here. Next, very important derivation. Okay, just just you have to write something okay about the length of path of contact. That is very important thing is just all of you observe that. Let us consider the two gear wheels. Those two gear wheels are made to mesh each other, made to mesh with each other. Just you will observe that. So this portion, okay, actually I preferred the RS Kurmi, okay, but while we take the another books, okay, that is the our SS Ratan and other textbooks, then they are also shown the diagrams with the horizontal way. So here vertical way. So that is the up and down. So the gear wheels are made to mesh. Okay, bottom is one gear wheel and top is the another gear wheel. But those are discussed here. Okay, horizontal way. That means those two gear wheels are made to mesh with adjacent. Okay, so that is the one wheel is here and another wheel is here. So left and right. So there is no difference between one to another. But the thing is how they are arranging the gear wheels. So that is the simple thing is there. Now you will observe that. So when we take the two gear wheels are made to mesh, and those gear wheels are uniformly okay, uniform angular velocities of omega 1 and omega 2, and those are also following with the angle, okay, pressure angle. So that is the angle is also there, pi angle is there, they should maintain the pi angle. And generally uh, to see, okay, when we represent the any gear wheel, so generally we take the three circles. So those are the base circle, pitch circle, and addendum circle. Base circle, just you will observe that, just you will observe that. So this is the base circle, and this is the, okay, what is the dotted line is there, pink dotted line, so that is the pitch circle. And this circle, okay, top of the gear, okay, gear wheel 1, so that is the addendum circle. And similarly to represent our gear wheel 2 also, so that is the our lower circle is the, okay, is calling as the base circle, and dotted circle is calling as the pitch circle, and top of the circle is also calling as the addendum circle. Those are the circles are representing with the our gear wheel. Now, so the gear wheel 1 radius. So the gear wheel 1 radius is the our small r. So that radius is representing with, just all of you observe that. So the gear wheel 1 is the O1P. That radius is the O1P is also equals to small r. And gear wheel 1, gear wheel 2 radius is the O2P. So that is represented with capital R. Capital R. Radius of the gear wheel 2 is the R, capital R, and radius of the gear wheel 1 is the small r. And another radius is also there. So that is the addendum radius of, okay, addendum wheel. So addendum of the gear wheel 1, addendum, addendums, addendum circle of the gear wheel 1, so that is as r suffix a, and gear wheel 2 capital R suffix a. So those are the representations are there. Now coming to be here, so that what is the, okay, uh, what is the definition of length of path of contact, or what is the mean of length of path of contact? So the common normal, simply to say that the common normal cut off by the addendum circle of the gear wheel and pinion. The common normal cut off by the addendum circle of the gear wheel and pinion. So first you should search the addendum, sorry, you should search the our common normal line. So the common normal line generally drawn, okay, that is generally drawn to the base circle of the gear wheel 1 and gear wheel 2. So that is the base circle 1 is there. So that is the base circle 1 and base circle 2. So those two are there. Now we have to draw the common normal line. So in this pitch circle 1 and pitch circle 2 both are intersecting at a place. So that is the P. That place is P. Now we have to draw the common normal line. Common normal line. So in this common normal line is there. In this our that common normal line is represented with the M and N. M and N. So now going to represent it with the our where the common normal line intersect at the addendum circle of gear wheel 1. So addendum circle of gear wheel 1 where? So this is the L portion up to L portion. So addendum circle of gear wheel 1 touches with the common normal L, and addendum circle of gear wheel 2 touches with the, okay, where K, that is touches with the K. So that is touches with the
Okay. So this is the our KL. What is the portion is there? KL portion is there. That is the length of path of contact. So where the gear wheels are made to mesh. So just you will observe that in our diagram. Where the gear wheels are made to mesh. So how much of the path of contact between the gear wheels? So that is the just you will observe that. Maybe it may also have three to okay 2 to 3 gear teeth are made to mesh. So only 2 to 3 teeth are made to mesh. So this is the path of contact. Okay. So this is the okay how much of path of contact is there between one to another. So that is the indicating here. That is their path of contact. Is it indicating KL? So in this, the path of contact is also consisting of the two parts. So that is the path of approach and path of recess. Path of approach and path of recess. So the path of approach is represented with the KP and path of recess is represented with the PL. KP and PL part. So let us take our symbol representations. R suffix A is the radius of addendum circle of the pinion, and capital R suffix A is the radius of the addendum circle of the gear wheel. And small r is the radius of the pitch circle of the pinion, and capital R is the radius of pitch circle of the gear wheel. So now O1M equals to, let us take the triangle of MO1P, or sorry, MO1P. So in this, let us take the triangle of MO1P. So O1M equals to O1P cos pi, isn't it? Let us take the triangle of MO1P equals MO1P, triangle of MO1P. O1M equals to, sorry, O1M equals to O1P cos pi. Why? Because so triangle of O1P cos pi equals to cos cos pi equals to cos pi equals to O1M by O1M by O O1P. Cos pi equals to O1M by O1P, isn't it? Triangle of MO1P cos pi equals to O1M by O1P. So from that, O1M equals to O1P cos pi. So O1P value already known, so that is the small r. So small r cos pi, small r cos pi. Now O2n equals to triangle of, okay, O2n. So similarly, to take the triangle of n NO2P, NO2P, O2n equals to O2P cos pi. So that is the capital R cos pi, capital R cos pi. Now let us take that right angle triangle. So that is the from right angle triangle O2KN, O2KN. Just you will observe that O2KN. So what is the triangle is there? Just you have to draw the line O2N, O2KN. O2KN. So that is the you have to draw the lines of O2 and N, O2N common normal line, and addendum circle where we touches the addendum circle of gear wheel. So that is the K position. So just connect with the our K. Okay, connect with the line of K to our center. So that is the O2K. So from the triangle of O2KN, this is seems to be right angle triangle. Just you will observe that. Why? Because N position will shows right angle triangle. It is a type of triangle is right angle triangle. It is a type of right angle triangle. So in this, Kn equals to what they have written, O2k square root of O2k square minus O2n square. Why? Because they have taken Pythagoras law. They have taken the Pythagoras law. From Pythagoras law, what is the unknown is there? So that unknown is the Kn here. So Kn equals to O2k square minus square root of O2k square minus O2n square. Why? Because uh, edges opposite side equals to square root of edges hypotenuse square minus adjacent side square. So that is okay, that have written. Now O2k is, so O2k already know, so that is the small, capital R suffix A, and O2n is the O2n recently right here, so capital R cos phi. So just substituted the both the values. So that is the our square root of RA square minus R square cos square phi. So that is the Kn. That is the Kn. Now similarly to write from Pn, from Pn. So for, let us take the triangle of O2Pn or N, okay, triangle of O2Pn or triangle of NO2P. So whatever it may be. So triangle of O2Pn. So Pn equals to O2P sin pi. So similarly, O2P means capital R. Just you have to write the our capital R sin pi, capital R sin pi. So now Kn is known and Pn is known. Now we have to find out the path of approach. So that is the Kp. So path of approach. So path of approach Kp equals to, how we write the Kn minus Pn. Yes, why? Because Kp equals to, just you will see the diagram. Kp, so Kp equals to Kn minus Pn. Why? Because directly you may not write. So that's why it is also equal. So Kn minus Pn. So Kn is the square root of Ra square minus R square cos square pi minus Pn is the R sin pi. So that is the our path of approach. Path of approach. Now going to find the path of recess. For find out of the path of recess, so just you will see that. Let us take the triangle of O1 ml. O1 ml. Let us take the triangle of O1 ml. So O1 ml is there. So that is the, so this is the O1 ml triangle. Again, take the Pythagoras. Okay, from the Pythagoras, ml equals to square root of O1L square minus O1M square. So O1L is the square root of small r suffix a. So small r suffix a square minus r square cos square pi. And similarly to write mp equals to cap small r sin pi. Mp equals to, so mp means, let us take the again triangle, triangle of O1 mp, triangle of O1 mp. So from the triangle of O1 mp, mp equals to r sin phi. Now going to find the our path of recess. So path of recess is already told that PL. So that is the PL is there. So PL is also find, okay, PL is also calculated. So that is PL is also written as ML minus MP. Am I right? The ML minus MP. PL equals to, so this equals to PL equals to ML minus MP. So that is the ML is the square root of RA square minus R square cos square pi minus R sin pi. So this is the path of recess. Therefore, finally to take the our length of path of contact. So that is the KL equals to KP plus PL. KP plus PL. Why? Because our path of contact is consisting of the two parts. That is the path of approach and path of recess. Path of approach is known and path of recess is also recently okay calculated. So both are substituted here. So from that, path of contact equals to capture square root of RA square minus R square cos square pi plus square root of R square RA square minus R square cos square pi minus capital R plus small r sin pi. So this is the our path of contact, length of path of contact. Is it clear? So the one of the important thing is which triangle. So that is very important. Without taking the triangles and without the consideration of the our triangles, so you may not get the particular knowledge on this chapter. So that is very important. Which value is equals to which value, and is it taken from which triangle? So that is required. Now going to see length of arc of contact. It is also equivalence to, okay, we have the relation between the length of arc of contact to the length of uh, path of contact. So that is the, just all of you observe that. So before going to draw that one, so we know that length of path of approach, again here that may also return arc of approach here. So again the length of arc of contact is also two parts, that is the arc of approach and arc of recess. So that arc of approach is arc GP. So that means the length of path of approach by cos pi, and arc of recess is arc PH. So that is also taken as the path of recess by cos pi. So that is the KP by cos pi and PL by cos pi. So therefore arc of contact equals to arc GP plus arc PH. So that equals to KP plus PL by cos pi. So that equals to KL by cos pi. So that is the relation is there. Path of contact to the arc of contact. So that is the arc of contact equals to length of path of contact by cos pi. So just you will observe that GP and PH. So just observe that GP is there. So GP is there. So this is the arc is there, and PH. So this is the arc is there. So how much of path of contact in linear way, linear point of view, linear distance is measured with the KL, but in our arc point of view, so that is a GP and PH, GP and PH. So that is a, when we take the GP and PH, so then we have the small difference is there. So that is our path of contact by cos pi. When we take the path of contact by cos pi, then simply to get the our arc of contact. So that is there. And now going to see the contact ratio. So it is very important. Contact ratio or number of pairs of teeth in contact. How many pairs of the teeth are in contact while the gear wheels are made to mesh. So that is very important. Contact ratio. So the contact ratio is defined as the ratio of the length of arc of contact to the circular page. The ratio of the length of arc of contact to the circular pitch. So length of arc of contact by P suffix C, circular pitch, P suffix C. So circular pitch formula already known. So that is the our pi m or pi dt by t, pi m or pi dt by t, pi dt by t, small t. So that is the formula is there for circular pitch. Pc equals to pi dt by t, and length of arc of contact is getting by the earlier one. So that is there. Is it clear? Length of arc of contact and contact ratio is very, very important derivation. Do you have any queries? Now going to see problem regarding the length of path of contact and our arc of contact. So now you will see. So just read a problem. Read it carefully. So two involute gears of 20 degrees pressure angle are in mesh, and the number of teeth on the pinion is 20 and the gear ratio is 2. If the pitch expressed in module is 5 mm and pitch line speed is 1.2 meter per second, assuming addendum as standard and equals to one module. Addendum is one module. Find the angle turned through by the pinion when one pair of teeth is in mesh. And second one, maximum velocity of sliding. Maximum velocity of sliding. So here you have the two determining values are there. From the problem description, you have to write the given values. So that is the pi is already there. So that is the two involute gears of pressure angle 20 degrees. And small t is also there 20. So and gear ratio is there. Gear ratio G equals to capital T by small t. So that is the 2. And module is the 5 mm. And V, small v equals to 1.2 meter per second. And addendum equals to one module. So that is the our 5 mm. Now going to determine the angle turned through by the pinion when one pair of teeth is in mesh. So now we are going to find out the angle. So how much of the angle? Especially for the pinion. Angle, how much of the angle turned through by the pinion when one teeth is in mesh. So only we know the number of teeth. Small t is known, only pi is known. So when we know the small t, then simply to find out the small r. So how we find out the small r? So we have the relation is there. We have the one formula is there. So that is the module equals to d by t. Module equals to d by t. So that is also written as 2r by t. 2r by t is there. M equals to 2r by t. So r equals to mt by 2. R equals to mt by 2. So that is that is taken from the module formula. So m equals to 2r by t. So r equals to mt by 2. So in this, m is known, module 5 and t 20. So just substituted that. And small r is the 50 mm. Small r is 50 mm. Now going to find the capital R. Capital R equals to mt by 2. So when we know the gear ratio, so that is the relation between the small t to capital T. So that is the our mt by 2. So m into capital GT. So that is the our small t equals to capital T equals to GT, small gt. Just substituted that. Now going to substitute the values, known values. So that is the m is there, and our m is 5 and capital G is the 2 and small t is the 20 by 2. So that is the capital R is 100 mm. 100 mm. So small r is known and capital R is known. Now going to find the RA, R suffix A. So that is the one addendum. So that is the 5 mm already there. For 55 mm and capital RA is also one addendum. So 105 mm. So now going to find the path of approach. Kp equals to square root of RA square minus R square cos square pi minus R sin pi. Okay, so this is the path of approach. Just substituted the values in this equation. So when we make the calculation, so then simply to get the our path of approach 12.65 mm. And similarly to find path of recess. So small square root of small RA square minus R square cos square pi minus R sin pi. So when we make the calculation and simply to get the 11.5 mm. So therefore path of contact equals to Kp plus PL. So what the value to achieve here? 24.15. 24.15. So that is our path of contact. Now going to find the arc of contact. So that is required. So arc of contact equals to uh, arc of contact equals to path of contact by cos phi. So path of contact 24.15 by cos 20. So then simply to get the our 25.5. So now going to find the angle turned through by the pinion. So that is the angle turned through by the pinion equals to length of arc of contact into 360 degrees by circumference of the pinion. So that is very important. Arc of contact by length of arc of contact into 360 degrees by circumference of the pinion. So now just substituted those values. So that is the arc of contact is 25.7 into 360 degrees by 2 pi r circumference of the pinion. So 2 pi r circumference value formula is the 2 pi r. So just substituted that. So then how much of angle is there? 29.45 degrees. 29.45 degrees. So that is the our angle of angle turned through by the pinion. So now going to find the maximum velocity of sliding. So for getting the maximum velocity of sliding, so omega 1 is the speed of the angular speed of pinion and omega 2 is the angular speed of the gear wheel, and pitch line speed is there v equals to omega 1 r or omega 2 r, capital R, whatever it may be. So omega 1 equals to v by r, omega 1 equals to v by small r. So that is the v is the 1.2 meter per second. So just substituted that. So 1.2 are so 1.2 by just substituted that r value radian per seconds. So whether they may also convert it into millimeters of our velocity, or they may also convert it into meters of our velocity, whatever it may be. So those two are converted into one conversion. So that is the v is also coming into the millimeters. Why? Because r already in millimeters, 50 mm. So that's they may also represented here. So omega 2 is also same v by capital R here. So that is the our 24 radian per second and 12 radian per second. Maximum velocity of sliding equals to, already told that omega 1 plus omega 2 into kp, path of approach. So the path of approach already know that. So and omega 1 omega 2 recently calculated. So then the value is 455.4. 455.4. Is it clear?